What's going on, internet? I am the mass man. Today, as I was running my many errands, I was in the car. I was in the car that I'm allowed to drive. And I heard the Ricky Smiley morning show. And on the Ricky Smiley show, they mentioned a story about actor Michael Jai White having a Facebook post. And I really didn't believe what they were saying, or I felt like maybe they were taking what Michael said out of context. So I looked it up and I read it. And because I know that the world is very lazy, I'm going to read it to you. Not printed it out. Now I'm going to read the story. I'm going to read the post he put on Facebook in its entirety, and then I'm going to speak on it. This is Michael Jai White speaking. I open Facebook and I see the what's on your mind question, and I immediately say, oh hell no. I don't want to share this negativity about this mind-numbing stupidity I keep seeing plastered all over social media these days. I try to be positive, and the only positive thing I can say is he repeated himself, it's a great time to be ignorant, all in capital letters. Never has the ignorant had such a platform. Trump, GOP, Oregon militia. It's like an ignorance renaissance. It's Ignopendence Day. He spelled it IGNO Pendence Day. Exclamation mark. Arguments have become merely people quoting trivial truths that are so disconnected from the main argument that it's almost comedic if it weren't for the tragedy of us missing the benefit of learning the validity of opposing views. People have become so polarized that they hang on to anything that supports their bias, no matter how minimal or ignorant it is in the big picture, just to claim victory. See, you may have an idea of where this post is going. Here's where it takes a turn. I'm seeing countless posts on racism, Bill Cosby, as well as racism connected with Bill Cosby. And my mind is blown. There are so many posts devoted to proving racism exists that there is no energy left on focusing on the solution. We spend investigative brilliance and use millions of words on proving what we already know. Racism does exist. If we said eat at Joe's, at least something would happen. Joe's revenue would go up. How about only 3 words? Words in response to systemic racism. Support black businesses. Then there's the omnipresent and all-powerful they. He spells it again with punctuation. THEY. I call them the honkies for the eradication of y'all. They set up Bill Cosby. Oh, sure, if he never drugged anybody, he's still the most self-righteous, judgmental, and biggest known serial adulterer we've ever known without relying on our own creativity and analogy to paint him differently. The truths as to his genius to the entertainment industry have as much relevance to his case as us giving Jeffrey Dahmer credit for the people he didn't eat. Okay, I'm gonna circle that. Okay, and we keep going. My bad for the comparison, because Dahmer admitted his crimes. Being an actor from NYC, I, as well as countless others, know how busy in quotation marks Cosby was in the 80s. And believe me, I'm guessing he's talking about the hunkies for the eradication of y'all, knew it too, but they never came out with the headline. America's most beloved father is cheating his black ass off. Did they? Question mark. If they wanted to take Cosby down, wouldn't that be the best time? Okay, I'm going to underline that. I've identified this for years as the one double standard that black men enjoyed over whites. Let Seinfeld be married and do that shit. Laugh out loud. Remember, Hugh Grant was practically destroyed for one encounter with a hooker. I'm a black man who's disturbed by the fact that we can have infidelity in our lives and it not be a big deal. All in caps. It's like society is saying being faithful is above black men and below whites. MLK, Jesse Jackson, Cosby, the list goes on. I'm gonna circle that. Okay. Cosby stopped being a hero to me as soon as I learned he was living a lie as a faithful man. Period. Lesson is, and then there's a colon. Power should not go unchecked. Underline that. And he could have been man enough not to embarrass his family. Funny thing is, I'll bet Fat Albert, Theo, or any of the Cosby kids have had episodes about the virtues of being truthful and that hiding the truth comes at the liar's detriment. I think if you can give praise when praise is due, I think if you can give shame when shame is due, and no one is above or below either. Now I'm gonna go watch Stephen Curry meme to change my mood. Love that guy. Okay, so that was Michael Jai White post on Facebook. Now, niggas. If you don't know who Michael Jai White is, Michael Jai White is probably best known to black people as Black Dynamite. He was also Spawn, but a lot of people don't really know Spawn because Spawn was burned up, through most of the movie, and he spent most of the movie as the burned up general from hell. So Michael Jai White has come out and, speaking against basically conspiracy theories, and he's talking about the double standard that black men have when it comes to being unfaithful to their women, how it's accepted when black men are unfaithful, but it's not accepted or is not seen with as much, hatred, or it's not seen as bad as when a white guy does it. When a white guy is unfaithful, it's a big deal, and they really run him through the ringer and run him through the mud. But when a black guy cheats, it's no big deal. And he put that in quotation marks. I try when I do these videos to stay in my lane because I'm not an expert on anything, but I'm a man with an opinion. I'm a man with a point of view. I'll say that. Not an opinion, a point of view. I'm a man who sees certain things and I want to speak on them. And I don't understand why black men, black people are so aggressive about tearing other black people down. I don't understand. I can't comprehend. I'm trying to figure out, like, what does Michael Jai White get out of making this post? Now, I underlined something in this post. He said power should not go unchecked. it seemed that black people cannot function without being able to check another black person on their bullshit. Like they always feel this need to put other black people in check. Like you so high and mighty, I must bring you back down to earth. I must bring you back down to reality. I gotta find a flaw in you. I gotta find a hole in you. I gotta prove that your work, the greatness that you've done in your life, you know, doesn't make you better than me. Like, I gotta prove that all of your accomplishments and all that you've done and all of the people who've made money because of the work you've done and who have been entertained because of the work you've done and lives have been changed because of the work you've done. That doesn't matter because I saw a flaw in you. I see a hole in you. You're not perfect. So if you're black and you're not perfect, you need to be aware that some black person on Facebook is going to be in a bad mood and is going to put you in check. Even if you're Martin Luther King, some black guy who is, I don't know, what would you call Michael Jai White? A C-list actor? Maybe a C-plus list actor? And I like Black Dynamite. I think there should have been more than one. But you do Tyler Perry shit. It's like right now, like you working with Tyler Perry and you fixing your mouth to check Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson. Now a lot of people take umbrage with Jesse because there are two Jesse Jacksons. There's a pro-black Jesse, and then there's a hustling trying to fit in with white Jesse. So Jesse got two faces because Jesse was two different people in two eras. So I can understand how somebody would have problems with Jesse, but you didn't really address Jesse as somebody who changed. You didn't address Jesse as somebody who was riding for his people who went in another direction. You addressed Jesse as a cheater that has gone unchecked, like somebody who just got away with it. Let me clarify something for you, Michael Jai White, tough guy. There is nothing that black men do that goes unchecked. There is nothing that black men do that somebody isn't calling them out for. They will make shit up to call black men out for something. Black men don't work. Black men have a bunch of babies that they don't take care of. Black men are uneducated. Black men, are cheaters, are unfaithful, are dogs, are liars, are criminals, are thugs, all aspiring rappers. I'm trying to figure out what universe you niggas are living in that you think that black men are getting over. You said that what else did you say? You said that a white guy, that Hugh Grant was practically destroyed for his one encounter with a hooker. Now, I'm not familiar with that story, but I briefly looked at the Facebook post, and somebody said that his encounter was with a black prostitute. And Hugh Grant is fine now for however big that was or wasn't. But if you want to bring up Hugh Grant, I'll take Hugh Grant and I will raise you Kobe Bryant and Tiger Woods. If this world that you live in is so comfortable with black male infidelity, then it must, in the universe I'm staying in, you must not have a Kobe Bryant and Tiger Woods, because those two men were practically destroyed for cheating. They didn't beat anyone, they didn't drug anyone, they didn't kill anybody, but Kobe and Tiger respectively lost hundreds of millions of dollars and had their reputation permanently tarnished for sleeping around. So they don't factor into your theory that black men are just getting away with cheating. This MLK rumor, and rumor is what it is, this MLK rumor that has been circulating for 40 years, they bring it up every chance they get. Nobody's letting that lie. Nobody's sweeping that under the rug. Nobody's pushing that to the side, even though there isn't one shred of evidence that the general public has ever seen that proves that MLK was cheating. There's not one photograph, there's not one recording, there's not anything concrete proof that proves that MLK was unfaithful to his wife. But this is a rumor that is circulated for years, even though there's no proof, but niggas will run with it because niggas want to believe that Martin Luther, they can't function with the idea that Martin Luther King was a saint, was a faithful man. They can't function with that. So they gotta buy into the propaganda. They gotta buy into it. They have to believe it. They need for him to have a flaw so they can excuse themselves for not continuing his work. They need him to be weak. So it's like, oh, he was just a cheating ass nigga. He was fucking around with white women. He ain't no real. Man, that bullshit. That's what they need to do. My thing is, you see, I am Mr. So What. I'm Mr. I don't give a fuck. I am Mr. I don't have any particular sense of morality. That's me. That's not everybody else. Everybody else is calling niggas out for everything that they do, scrutinizing every word that they say, every step that they take, every piece of clothing that they wear, are giving them a hard time for everything they do, and you another one of them. You comparing Bill Cosby, a man who has not been convicted of anything, a man who just got a case thrown out, and the bitch that was accusing him made a diss track about her case being thrown out of court. Now, what kind of a victim of rape is gonna get her case thrown out and make a diss rap record? This is the kind of foolishness that we see going on, and nobody's calling it out. But you make a comparison between Bill Cosby and Jeffrey Dahmer, and you actually kind of put Jeffrey Dahmer above Cosby in respectability, because at least Jeffrey Dahmer admitted his crimes. Black people. I'm speaking of black people. We gotta stop letting niggas think that they got license to say whatever the fuck they want, and that they can just talk about anybody that they want and go unchecked. That it'll just go unnoticed. That they got free reign to check any black person they want to check, even though they don't have any undergirding to their life to support them criticizing and chastising another black person publicly. Whether you like or don't like Cosby, whether you think he was a cheater or not, the man did great work that you can't erase. You can't erase all of the people who were motivated to go to college off of the strength of the Cosby Show in a different world. You can't take away all of the money that he gave to colleges and all of the people that he put through school. You can't erase that from history. You can't wipe that out. And this idea that he stopped being a hero, that doesn't mean that his work vanished into thin air when you learned that he was living a life as an unfaithful man. You claim that if they, the honkies that are for the eradication of y'all, wanted to take Cosby down, they could have taken him down when he was America's most beloved father and he was cheating his ass off. Why didn't they take him down then? Well, they didn't take him down for the same reason they don't take a lot of black people down. They're still good earners. They're still good earners, and they're not a threat. Bill Cosby wasn't a threat to white supremacy when he was doing the Cosby Show. The show wasn't dissing white people. The show wasn't harming white people. The show wasn't hurting white people. So if he was this, if I guess what you're saying, that I guess what you mean by this is that there is no they, that there is no they. And if there was a they, if there was honkies that tried to bring niggas down, then they would have taken him down back when he was bigger. Well, I will rebuttal that and say they made money off of him then, and they only care about tarnishing the legacy. They got the money. Bill Cosby ain't gonna earn that much money at 80, so might as well take him down now. That's the answer to that. But they is kind of like a conspiracy theory. It's kind of like you saying that there are no white people who want to bring down and tarnish the image of whites, of black men. You say that racism exists, but you make a joke, some kind of joke out of the idea that they would orchestrate some shit to bring down a successful black person when they've done it a lot for very minor things. Very real infraction. Kobe really did cheat. Tiger really did cheat. R. Kelly really did get charged with, what he got charged with. It's like these are things that really happen. But Michael Vick, really had dogs being fought on his property. But whenever somebody black is accused or does something bad, they blow it up and they never let it go. They never let it go. And they'll have a black man like you to sit in an interview 20, 15 years after the fact and ask him, well, Mike Tyson, you're going to meet the governor today. It's like, does it bother you that you're a convicted rapist and you're going to meet a governor? Black men like you will do some shit like that because you need to check a nigga. You need to make sure that a nigga knows that he can't walk around with his head up too high because your house ain't clean. I'll say to Michael Jai White, step your game up, man. Step your game up. You an actor. You're not an activist. You ain't really competing with old Jesse or new Jesse. You're not like Martin Luther King. You're not as accomplished in your field as a Bill Cosby. You're not as accomplished as an actor. You're not as accomplished as a businessman. You're not as accomplished as a philanthropist. You're not as accomplished as a martial artist. There's nothing in your life where you're as good as Bill Cosby is or was. I'm gonna say the same shit I said to Judd Apatow. You think because you black you ain't gonna get it? You gonna get it too, nigga. You ain't as accomplished. If he did something wrong, what makes you think it's your place to check him? If you got something to say, nigga, say it in your house. Say it at the dinner table. Say it in the barber shop. It's like, why do you feel that you have a license to shame some black people? You got the license to shame Martin Luther King. I would have never made this video, and there are probably only gonna be like 3 people who watch this video. Maybe 2 if I'm lucky. But what gave you license to feel like you had the authority to shame Martin Luther King? I probably wouldn't even made the video that only 2 people are gonna watch if it wasn't for you bringing Martin Luther King's name up. You brought Martin Luther King's name up to bring up your point. And I looked at a little bit of your Facebook, and you hugged up with, I guess that's your wife. You hugged up with her in a bunch of photos. So did she put this battery in your back where you thought you go on a rant about infidelity on it was January 6th. So let me get this exactly right. Let me pull out my old ass phone. On a random Wednesday, you just decided, I'm gonna make a post, shouting my frustration at black men who are unfaithful to the mountaintops. Like, what precipitated this rant? Like what led up to you feeling like you could talk shit about legends? Black people don't have no respect for history. Black people don't have no respect for work. Black people don't have any respect or appreciation for accomplishment. Nigga, if you don't respect Martin Luther King and what he did and his legacy, then what makes you think anybody is going to respect the bullshit you've done? That's all I got to say. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I don't know if I can leave a link to the Facebook message, but I can leave a link to his Facebook page. You can check out what he said for yourself and look at some of the responses. Most of them are favorable. Most people are agreeing with him and are feeling some type of way about it. I only saw one lady who really was, offended by the post. Let me know what you think. Leave me your comments. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest. Subscribe to my channel to keep up with what I'm doing. If there's anything you want me to talk about, you can send me an email at the Mr. Masked Man. No. Yeah. The Mr. Masked Man at gmail.com. I got a little confused. The Mr. Masked Man at gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and find me on Facebook at the Mr. Masked Man. That is all I have to say about this subject. I will see you in the next video.